means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not. It's
Gets
gross.
the people going.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Chas, here on Chasing Chas. If you are new here, go ahead, press pause, hit that subscribe button, then come back and press play. If you are returning, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming back. On today's video of ChasiTea, I am discussing the Lauren Smith Fields case. This caught my attention because I just didn't appreciate how the family was being treated. So whichever way the case turns out, that doesn't matter to me. Everybody should get equal respect, period. Like, it just is what it is. So if you want to hear my take on the story, also hear about the story in general if you've never heard about it, stay tuned. Okay, so if you are not familiar with the Lauren case, she's a 23-year-old black college student studying physical therapy, which I think is super dope. We need more of those. She meets this older white guy who's 37 on the dating app Bumble, and she invites him over to her apartment 3 days after, where she's found deceased the next morning after linking with him. Next morning after linking with this guy, 37-year-old engineer or something, on the Bumble app, he's the one who actually makes the 911 call. And I'm gonna just tell you the police report based on how he told the officers, because of course he made the call. She meets this guy on Bumble. His name is Matthew. I'm gonna refrain from inserting anything about him or saying his first and last name because everybody is innocent till proven guilty. And I'm not a news reporter, neither do I work for a PD, so I'm gonna just keep it about Lauren. So she meets Matthew on the Bumble app. They chat on the site, I guess, for like 3 days or so. Then she invites him to her crib. So they link up at the apartment. He comes over. In his police report, he says that they have mixed tequila drinks, they vibing, you know, playing games, eating, all this different stuff, right? So then at some point in the night, he said that she gets a text message from her brother and she goes outside. So she goes outside, she leaves him in her apartment alone. Lord knows what he was in there doing. Like, he could have just been chilling, like, I don't know. Anyways, she comes back in and he says that she goes into the bathroom for like 10-15 minutes. So nobody knows what she's doing in there. When she comes out, he says before she went outside that they were watching a movie, so they continue to watch the movie. At some point during the movie, she falls asleep on the couch, to where he says he carries her to her bedroom and he goes to sleep with her. Okay, cool. Now it's 3 days into knowing this woman. Why you felt so comfortable to carry this woman to her bed and sleep with her after she passed out is beyond me. But anyway, so he takes her to the bed. They go to sleep together. He wakes up to go to the restroom at 3:30, right? At 3:30 a.m., goes to the restroom. He says that Lauren's knocked out, she's snoring. Okay, cool. Then he wakes up again at 6:30 a.m., and she's not breathing. Blood is coming out of her right nostril, and she's just unresponsive. At this point, she's in the bed. She's laying on her side. He calls 911, okay? This is where it gets strange. Hold up. So now the officers arrive on the scene. They take the story that I just told y'all about what occurred the night before, him meeting her on Bumble, him waking up originally to go to the restroom, him waking up the second time to go to the restroom and finding her not breathing, unresponsive. So when the officers get there, she is found on the floor on her back. Why did you move her? We want to know, why did you move her? So he moves her. They find her on the floor. They do find dried up blood around her nostril. So that goes with his story. I just don't understand why he moves her. I can't get past it. So anywho, he's cleared. He's free to go. They don't look at him as a person of interest. Next, little Matthew's gone with the wind. So this really pissed me off, y'all, because the officers who came to the scene were quoted saying he was a nice man, and also documenting that they found $1,345 in cash in her apartment. I don't know what that has to do with the price of rice in China, because what are y'all implying? She can't have money just laying around? Like, I don't like that that was even a thing, and that y'all didn't even do a thorough search of her place, but y'all made note that it was cash laying around. Weird. Anyways, so now we get to Lauren's poor family side of the story. Like, y'all, so heartbreaking. So I don't know if I said dates, but December 11th, Lauren links up with Matthew at her apartment. December 12th, Matthew calls the police and reports Lauren's death. Also on December 12th, her mom texts her and doesn't get a reply, which isn't normal. They have a pretty close relationship. So on the 13th, Chantel, the mother of Lauren, and one of Lauren's brothers go over to her apartment to where they found a note on the door, y'all. Can you imagine going to your daughter's place who you haven't heard from and it's a note on the door? The note says, if you are looking for Lauren, to call this number. When they call the number, they get the landlord, who comes down and talks to them after however long it took the landlord to come outside because they waiting. The landlord says, hey y'all, we found Lauren up here. She was deceased. She was with the guy apparently that she met on Bumble. Like, here's this detective's number. Okay, cool. They call the detective. The brother speaks to the detective and he says, apparently she was in her apartment. This occurred, gives them the story that Matthew gave them. This occurs, and don't worry about him though. He's a nice guy. Excuse me. Oh, baby. I got even more pissed because you don't tell me don't worry about somebody because they seem nice. Like, fool, do you watch serial killer documentaries? All them fools be nice. They still be killing. And again, I'm not saying that he killed this woman, but that was irrelevant as hell for him to say. Moving on, the detective tells them, don't worry about it. He's a nice guy. He's been cleared. And that's that on that. So the brother and the mom are waiting on this said detective to show up. Never comes, so the family goes into the apartment and proceeds to pack up this stuff. Like, can you imagine? You gotta go in here, pack up your daughter's stuff, the detective being shady, the landlord leaving notes telling you call. Like, woo child, I just can't imagine. So they go in here, they pack up her apartment. They should be detectives because what do they find? A used condom, an unidentified pill, and they see the bloody sheets. No parents should have to go into an apartment after hearing a child is deceased, after not talking to them for 24 hours, and come into some mess like this. Okay, so the family finds these things, and they are livid. Like, y'all tell us this man is cool, but here we are walking up in here, and we find these said items, and no investigation has been done. So at this point, the family is demanding an investigation, and pissed, as they should be. So after getting no resolution, y'all, and being talked to and treated poorly, and Lauren being disregarded for almost a month, the autopsy report finally comes out where it says that it was a combination of alcohol, miscellaneous drugs, and this caused an overdose. Okay. When the autopsy comes out, they rule her death an accidental overdose. All right, cool. This could very well be the case, but that does not excuse the way that y'all treated this family. And I'm not off y'all for 2 seconds. Hold up. Since the autopsy has dropped, the family has gotten their own legal counsel, and they are going for the PD of Bridgeport, as they should. So far, I've read that 2 officers have been suspended. I didn't read with pay, and it shouldn't be with pay, but you know how that go. And yeah, I hope that they get the justice that they want, that they are seeking, and they deserve. I also read that the family is going to do their own private autopsy report just to see if there was anything that was left out, because at this point, the PD is trying to cover their butt because y'all handled this situation very, very poorly. Like, if trash was a case, that's the way that y'all treated this, and that's real messed up. Poor Lauren's mama. Like, again, I just can't imagine. She was quoted saying that if this was a white 23-year-old college student who linked up with a 37-year-old black man the night before from a Bumble app, this wouldn't have occurred. Like, nothing. And ding, 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 facts. Never would have occurred. Like, y'all would have had this all over CNN. Not to say that Lauren's case wasn't reported, but the investigation part of it is where they effed up. Like, come on now. Treat people with human decency at the least. That's all. That's it, okay? Of course, while reading this case, I'm looking at blogs, I'm looking at news sites, all these things to see like different theories on what people think could have occurred. So you have some people saying, oh, he drugged her and he had sex with her and he caused this woman to have an overdose. And then you have the other people who are saying the cash was found in the house because she indeed could have charged him for some services or whatever the case. Anyways, that's stupid, but like, don't put that on people. Y'all don't know this lady. And then thirdly, a good one that I saw is that she could have possibly taken them herself, you know, just to deal with the date in general, to just like get through it or be sociable. Like, you never know. Regardless of the situation, Lauren did not deserve to be handled the way that she did. I hope that her family gets justice, or, you know, whatever they are wanting and seeking. Most of all, closure from this is what I hope that they get. Who knows what's to come from this case, if there's more or less that needs to be known about it. It was so botched from the beginning that key things that could have made a difference are probably long gone by now. So let me know your thoughts, comments below on what you think of this case. Have you ever heard of it? If you feel just the way that I do, that this is misfortunate and poorly handled, comment below. So I decided to do a ChasiTea video on this because I just felt like I wasn't seeing it enough, and that the case is not closed, that the officers are just now suspended, that it should be being talked about, you know, especially for me, having friends who date on dating sites, meet people on Facebook, meet people on Instagram. Like, this could easily be our friends. Again, not saying he did anything to her, but just dating and something like this happens, could be any of us. So if y'all are dating on these apps, y'all meeting people off the internet, keep it public until you know what's up, until you feel safe. Share your location with your mom or your best friend or whatever the case. Set up cameras in your house. Like, have something low-key creeping, watching your back for you when nobody's watching your back. Like, whatever works for you. Just be careful when you're doing it if you're on these sites. I know it's the new norm, so nobody's judging on that. I just want y'all to be safe, men and women, because it could be the shoe on either foot, okay? All right, y'all, that concludes my first video of ChasiTea. And if you like this video, make sure you like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and most importantly, subscribe to my channel, y'all. And as always, remember to stay prayed up and to mind your business, because it's free and safe. Bye.